So we've got some pretty massive updates to the UI that are rolling out this week to all of the active users. At Localytics, our goal is to get every single publicly available data point on your business and your competitors, and then tell you based on that data how to beat your competitors. So what we do is we get the Google review data, we get the ads that they're running, we get the customer sentiment, we get the website traffic, we show you where your business ranks on Google. Basically, every single thing that we can find that's publicly available, we put into the dashboard and we use AI to summarize it and then give you actionable advice for what you should do to beat your competitors and set goals for you within your business. So this new UI is super fun to play with. We basically put everything into two different buckets, which is the analyze bucket. So you can analyze all of the data. You can analyze the website traffic, the trends over time, the seasonality of your industry, the Google review totals, the Google review frequencies, customer sentiment, SEO score, all of it. You can analyze that data, compare your business to your competitors, and the win section, which is basically based on that data, here is actionable steps that you can take to beat them. Included in that are summarizing all the reviews, telling you what to do, how to beat them in your business, setting goals. You need this many reviews on a monthly basis to be number one in your local market. You need this many to have the most total reviews. You need this customer sentiment. You need this many 5-star reviews compared to 1-star reviews. We'll set each goal for you so you understand where you stand in your local market, whether you're a junk removal company, HVAC company, a plumber, a restaurant, a hotel, a med spa, any sort of local business. It gives you everything you need to know to understand your market and to be your competitors. So let's get into it. Here we have, this is just the home dashboard. This summarizes both the analyze section and the win section. This is just something that users get into when they open up their dashboard. Let's go into the analyze section. This is great insights here. So we have the total reviews, review growth, review acceleration. You can set favorites, so you can click on whichever business that you want. So right here, we can click on Junk King, for example, and then favorite it, and then it'll go into the favorite section, so you have them saved. So right now we have Junk Drop saved, so you can see the star hovering above it. You know what percent of the market that you have. Let's go back to the analyze section. Okay, so in the analyze section, scrolling down, the Localytics score. So this is really cool. We get every single data point, backlinks, the traffic they have to their website, how fast they're growing on review frequencies, and we create a score based on that data and then assign it to show you which of the businesses is the biggest. And so you can see here, Junk King, College Hunks, Junk Drop, Stand Up Guys, ranks them based on all of that data using AI. Super cool to play with. There's a whole dashboard that gets into this. I can show you more of that later. Compare businesses. So you can select whatever businesses you want, and then it'll show you, their sentiment analysis, performance overview. There's a whole dashboard on compare businesses. This is just the widget as well. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. The review leaders. So who's got the most total reviews? Here is just a snapshot of who has the most reviews in your market. The website traffic, which business has the most traffic to their website based on their URL. The market demand, so we can figure out based on the frequency of reviews that businesses get across the market. We can see that last month was slower. There was less reviews coming in the whole market last month by 25%. So you know when to spend money on marketing and then when to pull back based on that data. And then SEO score, that's the backlinks that each one of the businesses has, and the authority score of the business. Bad reviews this month. So this is just a snapshot of each negative review that each one of your competitors got and what they said inside that review. Reading list, this is just a tool that we use so people can spend more time on the website and just really digest everything here. So this is based on your local niche in your city and all the news surrounding that. So you can just scroll. This is for Junk Removal Nashville, so you can see articles about construction debris, new trash and recycling collection schedules, lawmakers considering addressing landfill capacity, things like that. Price tier distribution. This is actually super, super cool. So what we do is we get, based on all the keywords that we find inside the reviews themselves. So for example, if this is for Junk Removal Nashville, if we see a lot of reviews surrounding the keyword cheap, inexpensive, great value, we put that into a bucket and assign that business as a budget-friendly or moderate business based on the keywords that we're getting. So people are saying this business is inexpensive. We scrape every single review they've ever gotten. We put it into AI and we say, based on this data, this business is fairly inexpensive. And then we do the same with keywords in the premium or upscale price tier distribution, whereas If there's a lot of reviews that say, hey, this business is expensive, not worth the money, overly priced, if we see those keywords in the review data, we copy them, we put them into AI, we assign that business a score, and then we create a rating of where they stand. And so you can see which businesses are expensive and which ones are cheaper. And you can figure out, okay, if my business is cheaper than my competitors, maybe I can raise my prices. Or, okay, these guys are overcharging, I wanna make sure I don't do that. Sentiment analysis. This is it 5-star, is it 1-star? We rank each of the businesses on that. Pretty simple. Growth trends, review frequency over time, all this is adjustable. And these are all widgets, so you can click on each one of the widgets and see the full dashboard in its entirety, right? And this is for every single one of them. Let's go to the win section. This is, okay, it's cool to look at the data. It's cool to see where I stand, where my competitors stand. What does that actually mean for me and my business? What can I do to beat them? So we created an actions dashboard that has goals and a playbook for you to beat your local competitors. So for the goals, okay, it's great. My competitors have this many reviews. They're growing at this rate. That's great. How do I beat them? We'll set goals for you based on whatever business you favorited. You can see if I want to be number one in my local market, I need 2,252 total reviews. I need to get 19 reviews on a monthly basis, and my sentiment score needs to be 100%. But if I just wanted to get down to 5th, I would need 442 total reviews and to average 11 reviews a month. And this is compared to the business that I favorited in my local market. How to beat competitors. So it sounds like a super vague title description, but what it is we dump every review that each of your competitors have ever gotten into AI, and we say, what is happening internally in these businesses and what should someone do to beat them? So it'll see a lot of negative reviews with all 20 of your competitors, say in junk removal, that say there's an issue with pricing, there's an issue with professionalism, and there's an issue with timeliness, for example. And it'll say, based on this data, you need to implement X, Y, and Z to beat your competitors. You're doing a great job. You're getting a lot of 5-star reviews around price communication, but a lot of 1-star reviews around this. And so it'll set actual boundaries for what you should do to beat your competitors. Super fun to play around with. Yeah, and here, implement a 3-point quality control checklist for item identification and handling, standardized pricing, and improve communication with customers before and during junk removal. So this is specific to this actual local niche. Ad intelligence. This is the Google ad data. So all of the Google PPC campaigns that your competitors are running, they're in here. You can see them. You can see exactly what they're doing well, what they're doing poorly. Here's one of our ads. Here's some of our competitors' ads. You can see how many advertisers there are, the ads, the keywords, average position. And then this, as I said, this is a widget. You can go to the actual dashboard. Here on the dashboard, we can generate ideal ads. This is super cool. So it combines all of the ads that each one of your competitors have ever run. It dumps it into AI, and then it says, based on this data, what ad should I create that's going to convert the most clients via a Google PPC campaign? So you click generate ads, and it'll do it usually on 3 different criteria, which is like maybe it's trust. It's going to depend on the industry, but it might be trust, might be value. So here's trust, urgency, value. These are the 3 criteria. If you want an ad that's going to be great for clients that need urgent junk removal, here's a great ad. If you need an ad about value, 20 to 30% cheaper than the pros. It'll give you the exact copy that's going to work the best. So this is super cool to play around with. And we have a similar feature. I'm going to go to the content templates. This uses Google's new Nano Banana Pro. And so it's an API pull from that. And you can select a business. It will know the colors of your business. It will know the theme of your business. So for example, College Hunks, they are, orange themed. That's their brand, is orange, right? So if I click on their business and then I click on, let's create a display ad, and then make sure the guy's team is smiling and in uniform. And then let's get even more nuanced with it. Let's say we also want to create a display ad where giving a thumbs up, right? Whatever. Generate template. Boom. College Hunks, thumbs up, smiling team members. And then it's insane how well this works. And obviously this is ideal for a template, so you know what kind of content you should create, but you can just use it as the actual content itself a lot of the time. It depends if it's a Google My Business post, if it's a website hero, if it's an Instagram post, Facebook, display ad, social ad. It depends on where you're distributing the content. But either way, it works amazing. And then we can go to compare businesses. Super fun to play with. You can select your business, you can select your competitors, you can add as many as you want. You can see how fast they're growing, what they're doing well, what they're doing poorly, sentiment analysis, performance overview, website traffic trends, SEO performance, detailed metrics comparison, SWOT analysis comparison compared to these competitors. This is internal inside the business. So there's so many cool things in here to play around with, but the goal is to give every business owner the ability to understand their market super locally and then have an idea, one, of the goals they need to hit and action items that they can use to beat those local competitors. Localytics.org, you can check it out for yourself. Peace.